Morning guys, 10:04 on Tuesday. So just having a look at Bitcoin updates. Starting to make some progress and moves. I guess what happens next is what we need to know. Still, as Fred said, still not out of the woods yet. But positive news, CME gap filled. Okay, so we mentioned yesterday about the CME gap. CME gap has been filled, albeit Bitcoin is now facing resistance on the future side of things at this top of the fill level. So 51,615. Let me try and find my brush tool. Okay, so facing resistance here. So if we then go over to Bitcoin, we're essentially seeing the same thing. So 4-hour chart reset. Okay, so let me just zoom in a little bit here. We're seeing exactly the same thing. So resistance at the top of what would be the CME gap, 51,600. Okay, so this is an initial level that Bitcoin needs to overcome. So I'm going to close the futures down. I don't need to be looking at that until next Monday. So just close that down. Don't need to save any changes. I'll come to this in a sec. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change this yellow line to red just because it's acting as a resistance at the moment. I'm going to remove this box because I think we don't need that anymore. We're currently trading through that area of resistance right now. Okay, see this trend line here, right here. Let's turn that to 4 pixels. Actually, I'll turn that to a dotted line as well, just for visual reasons. Okay, so we can see we've got resistance 51,600 and this trend line now acting as a resistance. So let's go to the daily. Let's just have a look where this trend line is. Okay, so this trend line is coming from the bottom here. Sorry, not the most accurate drawing there. Let's get these a bit more accurate. That's about right. So we can see that Bitcoin is hitting the lower trend line of what would have been the rising channel that Bitcoin was trading in. So I'm just going to hold down Control and Shift, and then I'm just going to tweak this potential channel. Okay, might need to go to the 3-day. There we go. Right, I'm going to change these back to lines then because we've identified which one it is. Change it to 2 pixels. Change this one back to line and 2 pixels. And then what I'm going to do is just going to extend this one down. Okay. And this is just a possible future area of resistance at the top here. Okay, so we're just mapping that in. Right, let me get rid of these fibs just for the time being. Hide. Okay, that clears that up. So let's go back to the 4-hour. So we can see the resistance right now that Bitcoin needs to overcome. Okay, so we've got, actually let's turn this, let's just turn this one into support very quickly. We have got 51,600, okay, red line acting as a resistance. We've got this previous trend line that Bitcoin was respecting. So this is almost a bearish retest. So it was respecting this trend line. If I go back to the 3-day again, sorry guys, 1 second, pen tool. So we can see start, okay, move up, bounce, move up. Should have been a bounce, didn't get that bounce, had a breakdown. We're now bearish retest of this same trend line. Okay, so go back to the 4-hour, bearish retest of this same trend line. So as far as levels are concerned now, Bitcoin needs to hold this level, Bitcoin needs to regain this level, and then Bitcoin needs to regain this level. Okay, this is kind of your suddenly becoming your bullish scenario. So this here is where Bitcoin needs to be trading. So we need to be trading in this falling wedge again. So this falling wedge is here. Okay, so move back into the pattern, retest possibly this trend line. So 49,481. Keep an eye on that trend line because we may see a retest of that trend line, which is a retest of support 49,481 and a retest of the lower trend line of the falling wedge. Okay, so don't rule that out. Retest that potentially could be a good entry. If we bounce off that trend line, that would be quite bullish for me, bullish scenario. So keep an eye on a potential move back down to this trend line here and then retest and then move higher. What we want Bitcoin to do is basically hold this line. So we need to hold so we're back into this pattern. Okay, so hold this line, move up, and then we're looking for a breakout of 53,781, which has been long-term key level. So let me change that Bitcoin needs to regain this key. That is a key level for us. Okay. Bitcoin breaks here with potentially all-time high scenario. We need to break obviously 59,56579. So around about the 60,000 area we need to break. But this is a very, very bullish and strong move for me if we can get to this level here, because we just haven't been able to break it for some time. Okay, so getting here would be a bullish move, and then holding and sort of consolidating before a new move out. So let me remove these drawings. So right now, again, trade safely, because this could, we could just get rejection here and a move back down to this lower trend line. Okay, so it's just all eyes on Bitcoin. Ideally, we just need a little break above, hold this line, consolidate for a while, maybe then just start picking up on this trend line, move across, because we know there's strong support on this trend line, and then break out. Okay, that could be 14th of December, around about that time. So we're just waiting for Bitcoin to make some sort of move that gives us a bit of reassurance that we can start trading. Okay. On the positive side, our number 3 whale, this is the guy we monitor. He's just bought 2,702 Bitcoins with 5,983,622. Okay, so there is mass accumulation going on. Bitcoin whales, so privacy. Bitcoin whales accumulated 3.3 billion worth of coins during this market dip. Is this kind of indicating that this dip is over? This is what we're hoping. There seems to be a lot of signals saying that essentially we're at the bottom. Even though Bitcoin might fall a little bit lower, we're kind of at the bottom of the range, and at some stage we're going to see that pop, I think. Bitcoin. Oh, I just want to explain one thing to you on the SMAs. Don't look at the SMAs enough, so I need to make sure I'm doing that. So have a read of this article. This was posted by Nick in the news. Thank you, Nick. Bitcoin reclaims 50k. Why 100 SMAs key for larger increase? So the 100 SMAs, this blue line. Let me make that a little bit thicker. So I'm going to go to blue. Just going to make that a bit thicker, okay? Because we can track this and monitor this, okay? So not necessarily on the 4 hour, however, the 50 and the 100 are going to be acting as resistance as well. As we move down this way, these two lines are going to start to curl around, but potentially it's all going to come to a hit here. So we could be facing 50 SMA, 100 SMA, resistance of 53,781, plus then upper trend line of falling wedge resistance. Okay, so this is going to be a key area for us if these continue to sort of move around. Okay, so the 50 and the blue one is the 100, red one is the 50, 200 is the gold one at the top here. Okay, that becomes an issue a bit further up on the 4 hour time frame. But what they're referring to is the daily. Okay, so Bitcoin needs to regain the 100 SMA on the daily, and at the same time what we're looking for is the 100 to start curling around and moving up, and we want the price action of Bitcoin to move above and use that as support. That will then continue to move up and essentially carry the price up with it. All being well, the 50 does the same thing. We then overtake the 50, and then this becomes a cushion, support cushion for Bitcoin on the way back up. So you can see it here. You can see it here clearly. So we bounced off the 100 SMA here. We moved up, and then we were above the 50, and then that was extremely bullish until such a stage as we moved down. So we broke down through the 50. We retested the 100 and moved up, but then we just crashed down. Okay. So it's important for Bitcoin to get above these SMAs as well for additional support. So have the SMAs on your chart as well to keep an eye on. Make them slightly thicker, but we're mainly focusing at the moment on the 50 and the on the 100 and the 50 on the daily time frame. But also keep an eye on them on the 4 hour time frame, which is a key time, most popular time frame traders use for TA, because that they're going to act as resistance as well. Okay, we can see it I close this down, we can see it here acting as the 50, the 100 acting as resistance. Okay, so this then becomes an area, a potential area where Bitcoin is going to struggle to break through unless there's huge amount of volume, and we're just not seeing the volume at the moment. So this level becomes even more critical. Okay, I'm going to change that to a 4, outlining how important it is to get past this level. Okay, so thin lines, weaker support, thicker lines, stronger support. Okay, so let's just turn this down to a 2. Okay, so that's my stance on Bitcoin at the moment. I'm just thinking that there is still a lot of work for Bitcoin to do, but what we want to see is some sideways consolidation. I think that would be good for altcoin trading. Bitcoin dominance, we are waiting on Bitcoin dominance. Okay, so Bitcoin dominance, this 40, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to 40%. No, I'm not, that's a lot lower. So let's leave it at 40.53. Bitcoin dominance is in a key area. What we want to happen is, as I mentioned before, we want Bitcoin to break down past this 40.53 level. So we need it to break lower than this point. If Bitcoin dominance breaks down, that's when you're likely to see your altcoin season. Okay. At the moment, we're trading in this area, and we seem to be sort of, we've had this bounce, we've had this rejection, we've moved down. So we seem to be trading in this area, but at some stage, Bitcoin's dominance has either got to move upwards or it's got to break down. Okay. Now what we're hoping for is a breakdown. So we're keeping an eye closely on Bitcoin dominance. We just need, ideally, we just need it to break down. And then we could see, you know, tremendous moves from the altcoins and some sort of mini altcoin season. Okay. Sand is doing particularly, I'm not going to go through altcoins at the moment, but Sand, keep an eye on Sand. So Sand has just had some sort of mini breakouts. This is a 4-hour chart. We've had a candle close. When's the next candle close? 1 hour 42 minutes. So kind of, I don't think that's a candle close outside. So this could still fall back into the pattern, but Sand is looking particularly strong. And the Sand is a bit of a buzz at the moment. So if you're looking to trade any altcoins at all, look at Sand and look at Metaverse, because I think they will recover particularly well. Let's have a look at Fear and Greed. So Fear and Greed is back up to 25. So that's moving in the right direction at the moment, but still extreme fear. So keep an eye on that. Let's have a look at our funding rates. Funding rates. Try and refresh. Funding rates are looking very, so this is healthy. This is looking very, very healthy. Look at all the green on there. Okay, so massive market reset when we had this drop in price here. Massive market reset. So many longs liquidated. Billions liquidated. I think one person, the highest single liquidation I read was 28 million. So someone woke up to a 28 million loss in liquidated. It's why we don't leverage trade. Not that we've got 28 million, obviously, but just phenomenal money. I hope he was able to. He was in a position where he was able to afford to lose all of that money. But funding rates are looking good. Okay, so massive market reset. This again, bullish signal, bullish signal. Okay, people are going to start longing Bitcoin again. And potentially with all of the news, so we've got mass purchases of Bitcoin, we've got Fear and Greed kind of moving up. Just want to see that into you know the yellow, moving into the orange and the yellow. Funding rates are really strong at the moment, so we've got a green board almost for funding rates, and we know that we know the pattern that Bitcoin is trading in at the moment. Just had to break back into the pattern. If we can just continue in this pattern now and then break out, 68% chance this breaks higher if we can hold this pattern. Okay, so we've got Bitcoin dominance is very low. Hopefully this breaks this level. And generally, if you go on Twitter and Instagram, there's a degree of, you know, correction is coming to an end. We're likely to see more upside for Bitcoin. So I'm not saying jump into trades now, but I get the feeling that the bottom could be in of this mini correction, and then we could start seeing some sort of movement upwards from Bitcoin. But we have to break 53,781 for me is the key. So I'll be very bullish if Bitcoin breaks 53,781, sorry. At the moment, I think I'll trade cautiously. So just to recap, I'm looking for hopefully a retest of this lower trend line and a move higher. Failing that, looking for a retest down here, so some sort of double bottom and then a move higher. I'd like to see Bitcoin break this level and hold. So 51,600, that would be great. But what we're looking for the ultimate bullish move is for Bitcoin to move up, break out of this falling wedge, and then retest, turn 53,781 into support, and then start to move higher. Okay, that's the ultimate goal right now. At the moment, could go either way. We've currently got strong resistance here. We're bearish retesting this lower trend line, so we could move lower. Okay, so I'll leave it there, and safe trading. All coins are starting to move. Shill, I mean, they've all had this mini run up, which sort of coincides with Bitcoin's run up at the moment. What Bitcoin does next will pretty much determine what the altcoins do next. So you've got Shill and you've got Sand all kind of having this little move. But, you know, people stop trading, looking at Bitcoin hitting resistance. Bitcoin moves down, people start cashing out their positions. On the altcoins start moving down as well. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Right, guys, I got to go. I'm still working on this training academy, but making good progress, and looking forward to launching this with you guys sometime in January, and then really hitting the marketing hard to boost our numbers. So exciting times ahead. All right, cheers, guys. Thanks, bye.